Okay, let's unpack this. What if the very definition of national prosperity is shifting right under our feet?
Hmm.
For decades, we've largely measured a nation's strength by its factories, its resource extraction, industrial output.
Traditional metrics, yeah.
But what if that traditional model is rapidly reaching its limits?
It seems like it is.
And the true powerhouses of the 21st century are built on something entirely different. Something, well, less tangible, but maybe far more powerful.
That's exactly what's fascinating here. How recent research is fundamentally redefining the backbone of national development.
Moving away from just material stuff.
Exactly. Moving from purely material output to intellectual capital. We're about to take a deep dive into a really transformative framework. It's known as the Gyanpeeth Economy, Knowledge for National Development.
Gyanpeeth Economy.
And this
huh?
comes directly from a compelling paper by Shiva Narayan Takshila Page.
Right.
And for those listening, Gyanpeeth, it roughly translates to seat of knowledge in Sanskrit.
Ah,
So that gives you a hint of where this model places its emphasis.
definitely sets the stage. And our mission in this deep dive is really to extract the most crucial, maybe even surprising insights from this framework.
Yeah, get to the core of it.
We'll explore its components, discover how they aim to foster sustainable, knowledge-driven growth and employment, and identify practical applications that hopefully impact how you understand global progress.
Let's do it.
So let's start by looking at the landscape we're moving away from. For a long time, the traditional industrial model was, well, it was king.
Absolutely. Focused heavily on material production, resource exploitation.
It built empires, no doubt, but it's increasingly bumping up against the challenges of this century.
Oh, definitely. Think about the incredible speed of globalization,
Right.
the urgency of climate change,
Undeniable.
and just the massive digital transformation that's reshaping literally everything.
It feels like those old models just weren't built for this level of change.
Precisely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, those traditional models showed their limits because they weren't really designed for a world where human ingenuity and information are, well, the most valuable assets.
So that begs the question.
Yeah, what truly powers a nation now in an era of information overload and these huge global challenges?
And this research offers an answer.
It offers a compelling one, a decisive shift toward knowledge-based development.
Okay.
The Gyanpeeth model emerges as transformative because it puts knowledge, innovation, and intellectual productivity right at its core.
So it's fundamentally different from the old industrial system.
Fundamentally, it focuses on multiplying intellectual capacity, fostering collaborative action, accelerating knowledge transfer. It makes human potential the central engine of progress.
That sounds like a complete rethink, like wiring a country for intelligence, not just brute force production.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
So if this Gyanpeeth economy is the future, what are its building blocks? What does this paper argue are the essential components for a nation to really thrive?
Right, so the paper identifies 7 key components. They're interdependent, which is crucial.
Okay, 7 pillars.
7 pillars, exactly. Entrepreneurs, investors, technology, workforce, traders, research centers, and government policy.
That's quite a list.
It is. But what's critical isn't just their individual strengths, but the absolute synergy required for them to function in harmony.
Synergy, meaning they have to work together perfectly.
Think of them less as separate structures and more like gears in a complex, innovative machine. The success of the whole model lies in them working in concert. The strength of one enhances the others.
Okay, let's put the first gear under the microscope then. Entrepreneurs, how are they different in this model?
Well, they're not just about creating a successful business in the traditional sense.
Right.
The paper calls them torchbearers of new ideas. But their role extends way beyond just wealth creation
To what then?
to active knowledge creation, channeling creativity into startups, new enterprises, social ventures, things that directly transform ideas into practical innovations.
Addressing national needs, it sounds like.
Exactly. It's about fostering a national culture of agile problem solving and smart risk taking.
So they're knowledge transformers.
That's exactly. Translating raw innovation into market-ready products and services. They foster entire intellectual ecosystems, not just companies.
Okay, and for those groundbreaking ideas to take flight, they need fuel. Which brings us to pillar 2, investors. But you said there's a twist here.
Yeah, significant one. The paper suggests they're not just financiers, but knowledge enablers.
Knowledge enablers. How does that change the role of capital?
It's a huge shift.
Yeah.
Capital isn't just funding factories or, physical stuff. It's strategically supporting research-driven enterprises, knowledge transfer ventures, technology hubs.
So the money follows the ideas.
Precisely. This strategic investment empowers entrepreneurs and research centers. It ensures economic productivity arises from ideas, skills, scientific progress, not just physical resources. And here's something the research surprisingly reveals. Economies that strategically pivot venture capital towards learnography.
Learnography. What's that exactly?
It's essentially investing in the systematic process of continuous learning and knowledge transfer across society.
Okay.
Economies that prioritize that kind of investment, they don't just see small gains, they demonstrably achieve higher rates of sustainable growth.
Wow. So investing in learning itself becomes profitable for the nation.
It's almost as if education and continuous learning become the most valuable asset class.
That's a powerful idea, which leads us, actually quite nicely, to technology. Pillar number 3. Clearly the engine of modern development.
Absolutely central.
The paper says it transforms knowledge into applied solutions. How does technology specifically bridge theory and practice here?
It acts as the ultimate accelerant. Technology enhances productivity, communication, efficiency across the board.
Right.
Think about digital platforms, AI, biotech, automation.
Things reshaping everything.
Exactly. These aren't just small improvements. They reshape industries and open vast new frontiers for employment. They're critical because they dramatically speed up innovation.
And they close those knowledge-to-market gaps, getting ideas out faster.
Much, much faster.
Mm-hmm.
From the lab or the drawing board to the real world.
Okay. Then there's the workforce, Pillar 4. In this model, redefined as more than just labor.
Mm-hmm. A repository of skills, creativity, and problem-solving capacity.
So if the workforce becomes these active knowledge agents, does the paper offer any surprising insights into how nations build that kind of workforce? Is it just more school?
It's fundamentally different than just more schooling. It's underpinned by what the paper calls brain page learnography.
Brain page learnography sounds complex.
Picture it like building a robust, lifelong learning operating system for every single person.
An operating system for learning.
Yeah, ensuring they constantly upgrade their mental software through structured training, continuous opportunities. The core idea is that a skilled workforce isn't just doing tasks anymore.
They're applying knowledge.
Actively applying knowledge, driving sustainable productivity and innovation-led employment. They're not just workers, they're intellectual contributors, solution finders.
Got it. Okay, Pillar 5. Traders. The paper calls them the lifeline of economic circulation. Now, this sounds a bit more traditional initially. How does this framework rethink their role?
That's a great question because their role is actually significantly elevated here.
How so?
This triad markets, production, supply chains, they ensure that innovations and knowledge-based products don't just sit in labs or on hard drives.
You actually get out there.
They reach consumers efficiently. Traders help transform that intellectual output into marketable goods and services. They support local communities, global competitiveness.
So they're circulating the knowledge-based goods.
Exactly. They ensure the efficient circulation of knowledge-based goods and services throughout the economy, like the circulatory system for a nation's intellectual output.
Makes sense. Okay, moving on to research centers. Pillar 6, described as the intellectual backbone and innovation hubs.
Crucial element.
It seems obvious they'd be critical for generating ideas and tech, but what's their unique contribution to solving national challenges and fostering the whole ecosystem?
Their unique contribution really lies in fostering deep collaboration.
Collaboration with the other pillars.
Yes, with entrepreneurs, investors, government. They transform theoretical insights into real-world applications. And, importantly, they actively train the next generation of innovators.
So they bridge academia and the real world.
They bridge the gap between pure academia, enterprise, and society, making sure new knowledge isn't isolated, but becomes a driving force for practical solutions.
Right, that connection is vital. Finally, Pillar 7, government policy. This acts as the framework or the unifying force.
It's what holds it all together, yeah, the unifying force.
So how should government policy shift to support this kind of knowledge-driven prosperity? What does the paper suggest?
It's all about intentional alignment. Policies need to be strategically focused.
Focused on what specifically?
On things like knowledge transfer, innovation, trade, taxation, technology. These become the strategic levers. The paper emphasizes policies that actively encourage research,
Okay.
support entrepreneurs, vigorously protect intellectual property, facilitate fair trade. These play a decisive role in steering the nation towards knowledge-based prosperity.
And does it work? Does the research show this?
Yes, it highlights that governments that really masterfully align these policies, they're the ones that witness significantly higher innovation rates and greater social equity.
Higher innovation and more equity. That's powerful.
It really is.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. What does this all mean? For you listening, for nations aiming for a future-ready economy, the core finding seems clear. The Gyanpeeth economy positions knowledge, not just industrial capacity, as the primary source of productivity and innovation.
Yeah, and the implications are truly profound. They touch almost every facet of national development.
Let's break those down. What's the first big one?
First, policy reorientation. Governments have to fundamentally shift away from being purely industrial-centric towards knowledge-driven frameworks, embedding things like learnography, research, innovation deep into national strategies.
So a complete mindset shift at the top.
Absolutely. Second, redefining workforce development. Employment strategies need to move beyond just manual labor, right? To truly embrace brain page learning, foster creativity, emphasize problem-solving skills across the board.
Lifelong learning again.
Constantly. Third, strengthening ecosystems. This means really supporting research centers as true innovation hubs and encouraging what the paper calls knowledge entrepreneurship.
Which is different from regular entrepreneurship.
It moves beyond mere profit to prioritize societal benefit alongside financial returns. Fourth, strategic investment. Investors have to prioritize intellectual ventures, tech startups, recognize knowledge as the new primary asset.
The learnography idea again.
Exactly. Fifth, technology as an imperative. Nations that proactively adopt emerging tech will close those knowledge-to-market gaps much faster. You can't afford to lag behind.
Makes sense. What else?
Sixth, global collaboration becomes absolutely vital. Nations need to actively participate in global knowledge networks, share progress, find collective solutions.
We're all connected.
More than ever. Seventh, the model inherently supports sustainability and inclusivity. Knowledge-driven economies are just better equipped to tackle complex issues like equity, environmental responsibility, social welfare.
Because they're based on smarter solutions.
Smarter, more adaptable solutions.
Yeah.
And finally, the big takeaway. National development as a knowledge enterprise. Investing in intellectual capital doesn't just fuel economic growth. It strengthens cultural identity, builds societal resilience against rapid change.
Wow. Okay, so this isn't just about abstract economic models then. It's a fundamental shift in how we understand progress, prosperity, globally, and maybe even personally. It urges us to rethink where true value actually lies.
It really does.
So, to summarize our deep dive, the Gyanpeeth model offers a truly transformative blueprint for national development. It powerfully underscores that genuine, sustainable prosperity lies not in just expanding industries like we used to think,
Right.
but in relentlessly multiplying ideas, fostering innovations, and nurturing collaborative actions.
And this raises, I think, an important question for everyone listening. If knowledge truly is the currency of progress,
Yeah.
how might we, as individuals, as communities, proactively invest in our own intellectual capital, our skills, our creativity, our learning? How can we use that to shape a more resilient, innovation-rich future? Not just for nations, but for ourselves, for those around us.
That's a great question to leave people with. Think about how this framework might influence decisions made in your community, your workplace, or even just your own personal learning journey. It's a powerful vision for a future built really entirely on knowledge.